Good evening. One of the country's leading businessmen has told Sky News he believes Britain has become colonised by immigrants. Jim Ratcliffe, the billionaire owner of Manchester United and founder of the chemical company INEOS, made the comments in an interview with Sky's economic editor, Ed Conway. Let's go live to Antwerp, and Ed joins me now. Good evening, Ed. So what has Jim Ratcliffe been saying?
Yeah, well, we're here in Antwerp, and it's the European Industry Summit, and the idea behind this summit is you've got lots of different business leaders, particularly when it comes to chemicals and high energy use industries, talking to politicians. And so you've had the Chancellor of Germany, you've had the President of France as well. It's been kind of a big moment, and we were kind of expecting. We had an interview planned with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, one of the richest people in the UK, very influential as well, and outspoken about certain issues, but he doesn't give that many interviews, and we expected most of it to be about chemicals and the chemical sector, and some of it was. But then later, towards the end of the interview, he clearly wanted to talk about the state of the UK, not just the economy, but what's going on in the social system. And here's what he said to us.
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular and show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice. I mean, I know Keir. He's a nice man. I like him, but it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time to get the big issues sorted out, would be my view.
It's worth just saying, he talked about, Sir Jim Ratcliffe there talking to us just a moment ago, he talked about immigration levels, or population levels in the UK at 2020 being 58 million. That's wrong. It wasn't 58 million in 2020, it was 58 million back in the year 2000. But I think nonetheless, it is clear that he has very strong views about what's happening in the UK, particularly when it comes to immigration, particularly when it comes to benefits. Whether people would agree with him on his choice of language, which I think a lot of people would agree is quite inflammatory, talking about colonisation by immigrants, that's another matter. But there is no doubting how influential a figure Sir Jim Ratcliffe is. He was a big part of the debate when it came to Brexit. He supported Keir Starmer, and you heard that relatively supportive language from him a moment ago before the last general election. And now it sounds like he is talking to reform, but it's not like he thinks they're necessarily going to be the solution that he's asking for. So a very interesting, insightful interview.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the reaction to that, particularly the language. But he mentioned Keir Starmer there. Did he go any further on where he stands on, whether Keir Starmer should continue or not?
Well, it's clear, one of the things that he was referring to, and you kind of heard it there, is he talking about Keir Starmer being a very nice person. And in order to actually implement some of the measures that he thinks are necessary, he thinks you need people who are ready to be unpopular. And, he said one of the things that he's experienced in recent years, he's obviously, as well as being in charge of INEOS, perhaps more people know him these days as being one of the owners of Manchester United, and someone who's going in there and making controversial decisions about management and about funding and about, all of the matters when it comes to running a football club. And he says he has become very unpopular as a result of that, and he recognises that. And his feeling is that the country now needs someone to go in who can be unpopular as well and take some of those tough decisions on immigration. But nonetheless, an interesting, shall we put it that way, choice of language, and it will be interesting to see how people react, given this is one of the most influential and significant business people in the UK.